My name is Gabrielle German, and I will be discussing the video, True Colors, Racial Discrimination in Everyday Life. After watching this video, unfortunately, I can't say that it surprised me in any way. It was frustrating and infuriating, but it wasn't shocking. This video was recorded in 1991. If this same study was done today, I would have hoped that the results would be different, but I would not be surprised if they weren't. Many times, African Americans are told that it is time to move on in reference to racism. They are told to get over it. First of all, there are people, family members, friends, activists that fought, were imprisoned, and jailed in order for there to be enough change for people to suggest that we can move on. Had racism magically disappeared in the 60s when African Americans were promised that they would no longer be judged based on their skin color, perhaps we would not hear as much about racism as we do now. However, as we can clearly see in this video and in everyday life, those judgments are still being made. More recently, people are aware that racism is socially unacceptable. They believe and they hope that they are not among those that are guilty for looking down on someone of a different race, until they find out that they are. I experienced this recently in a professional environment. Two of my coworkers were the best of friends, at least they thought they were. One of them was Caucasian American and the other was African American. Linda, the African American, designed an elaborate candy buffet and a handmade personalized cake stand and topper for her best friend's wedding. Her best friend Stephanie could not afford the extravagance that she wanted, but her friend made it happen out of her own pocket. On the day of the wedding, when the other friends of the family that assisted in the process of the wedding were being thanked and mentioned, Linda was not. She was referred to in the program as the cake lady, and her daughter was referred to as the little girl that helps her. There was no mention of their friendship. She was just simply treated as a vendor. This is the same coworker who, when she saw my hair in its natural state, said to me that she was sorry that that's what my natural hair looked like. She prides herself on not being racist until she finds out that some of the ideals that she was raised with are still in her head. As people often do when they are confronted with their own racism, they find specific instances to prove that they're not. I like to refer to this as the "my mailman is black" excuse. I was told that because the person in question had previously willingly socialized with a black person, that she could not possibly be guilty of racism. Truthfully, based on the personality of the person in question, as well as the African American that she was told that she socialized with, it is possible that they were real friends. It's also possible that this person perpetuated all of the stereotypes that her coworker believed in, and her coworker was simply amused by them. I don't suggest that we have made no progress in this country. We have made progress. I also don't pretend that there isn't still much work to be done. It takes people to feel the same discrimination in order to understand that it still exists. Unfortunately, members of the LGBTQ community are facing many of the same issues now. Many members of the majority may now understand the treatment that minorities feel because they or their loved ones are receiving the same treatment for something that's out of their control. This time it's a sexual preference. Before it was their race. It could be a handicap, anything. This is partially the reason that President Obama's election was so important to African Americans and minorities. When we tell our children that they can be anything that they want to be, even the President of the United States, they now have an example to look at. It's not breaking new ground for them to get there. There's a face among the list of presidents that looks like theirs. Someone overcame all of the roadblocks that they will face, and they made it. We have transformed from entering this country as property to its highest level of leadership. We have made progress in the world of racism. However, there is still much work to be done and a long way to go. My name is Gabrielle German, and that is my assessment of the video. Thank you.